Now, in the last video, I showed you this regex101.com as an interactive tester. I want to go back and let's remind ourselves what that does. So I'm going to put my name here. And remember, if I just put this, I have a partial match. In this case, I've got just the R matches. And you can see the blue is just over the R. And then I said, well, if I did this, if I did the dot star, now I have a complete match. Well, first of all, I want to look at what we can do in PowerShell to look for matches. And then I want to test in PowerShell whether we have to have a partial match or a full match. So let's take a look in PowerShell here and see how we can do this. I'm going to use the same string, and then I'm going to use match. Now this is exactly the construction I would use in a whereObject command, but I don't need the entire whereObject command in order to do this. Now I'm going to put another string. Now I'm using double quotes here because I want to be able to have special meanings for these characters, right? For the regex characters. If I use single quotes, it would just be literally the characters that I type. So let's try the second one that we did. I'm going to put the square brackets, and I'm going to put an R inside the square brackets, and then a dot star. Now remember, this was a complete match. And what we get is true. These are always every match is going to either equate to a true or a false. So the question is, what happens if it's not a full match? What happens if it's a partial match, similar to what we did here, where we had just a partial match with one character? Will PowerShell consider that true or not? Well, let's take this dot star out and see what we get. Oh yes, we get a true. So we have a partial match, and PowerShell considers that true. Now this is really important in your whereObject commands, because you want to filter something, right? And when you're filtering something, you might want the entire phrase to be represented, or you might want a partial phrase to be represented. And you know now that PowerShell will consider a partial match as a match. So unless I specify some regex expression that specifies the entire phrase, then I still have a match. So that's important to know. All right, next we're going to get on into the individual examples.